Welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with my first video about love. What is the true meaning of love? Most people who claim to be in love with someone actually don't, because they don't know what love actually is. In order to understand love, you must first forget everything you have ever learned about it from someone and even society. First, let's talk about what love is not. Love is not jealousy, it's not possessiveness, it's not keeping someone all to yourself, it's not fear, it's not anger, and it's certainly not lust. Let's talk about the neuroscience of love. First of all, when I'm sure that we've all experienced that feeling of falling in love, the feeling of lust. Well, let me tell you what happens when you actually are in the state of falling in love. Let's talk about the neuroscience of love. Well, when you're experiencing that exuberant feeling of falling in love, the brain releases four chemicals: hormones, norepinephrine, serotonin, and dopamine. What these chemicals act like amphetamines. That's right. You know, the street drugs people use to get high. So basically, in retrospect, when you are feeling the feelings of falling in love, you are on kind of a high. Norepinephrine, serotonin, dopamine, and amphetamines, they stimulate the pleasure center of the brain. And okay, so when a person is high, they have trouble sleeping, they have trouble eating, they have increased heart rates, they feel intense, extreme excitement. So falling in love is like that. So it's kind of like being high. So that's what those hormones do. The problem is that when you are falling in love, these hormones, the norepinephrine, the hormones, the dopamine, and serotonin, they only stay elevated for a period of 2 to 3 months. Okay, ladies, the initial stage of falling in love is the stage that you need to be careful of. This is the stage where the guy is calling you. I wake up every morning thinking about you. They're writing you all these poems. You receive love letters. You receive gifts. He's asking, I want to be your man. I am the man for you. You will hear statements like this in the initial stage of falling in love, which is the passion, the sexual excitement that he feels for you. But know this, ladies, buyer beware. This is also the stage for the booty calls, the friends with benefit. The chemicals that I just spoke of, the norepinephrine, the hormones, the dopamine, and serotonin, they are at an all-time high. So this guy is going crazy for you. He is going to say anything, because what happened is, this is normal. This is the mating, you know, this is the capture phase. He's hunting. His testosterone is at an all-time high. So he's overcoming all these feelings. So he actually believes he is in love with you, which means that men frequently associate physical attraction with being in love. So if a man is physically attracted to a woman, he thereby thinks that he is in love with her. But this is not true, ladies, because if this was so, then why do you have men that have sex with women they don't know? He has no emotional attachment. So it has been demonstrated among men that it is possible to be physically attracted to a woman and not love her. So if it's possible to be physically attracted with a woman and not love her, it's possible to love the woman and be physically attracted and be loved. But thereby, in long-term relationships like marriage, people stay together for 30, 40 years, but the initial stage of love has fallen off, thereby meaning that he loves her, but he may no longer be physically attracted to her because she may have gained weight, she may have had a couple of kids, or there may be some physical changes which he no longer finds attractive, but he does love her. So ladies, be careful. Men also believe that you can't have one without the other, but that is not true, lady. Don't get it twisted. They have proven that they can actually love a woman, have sex with her, be physically attraction, but they have also demonstrated that the other likewise is true, that he can be physically attracted to you, sexually attracted to you, and not love you. So if he can bring the booty in the front door and leave you outside, he will bring the booty in and leave you outside if he in fact feels that he's not in love with you. But it's so crazy because men frequently believe that in order to love someone, you have to be physically attracted to them, or be in love with them. But this has been proven to be a result of these chemicals. But since this initial stage of love only lasts 2 weeks to 3 months, a lot of women get hurt during this initial stage because this intense drive, I love you, I wake up every morning thinking about you, I wrote you a poem, I wrote you a love letter, I've given you gifts, I'm giving you flowers. This sends signals to a woman that he loves me. But he's not actually in love with you, ladies. He is in the initial stage of falling in love. Now, what would determine whether or not he falls in love with you will be what happens in the third stage. Wait a minute. Okay. The third stage of falling in love is bonding, attachment. This usually occurs after those hormones that I mentioned before are starting to wane. The sexual attraction is starting to taper off, and it's the 3rd to 6 months or 3 to 9 months. This is the stage where you will find out if he is in love with you or not, or if there's bonding, if their attachment is occurring here. So these hormones are low. But there's another hormone, it's the NGF hormone, the nerve stimulating hormone. So what happens is the serotonin, the norepinephrine, the dopamine, my goodness, the dopamine, well anyway, all those hormones that I just told you about, they have waned down. But there's another hormone I just mentioned, the NGF, the nerve stimulating hormone. This hormone stays at an all-time high for about 1 year. This hormone is responsible for the bonding and attachment that will occur. So if you are lucky enough, ladies, gentlemen, to keep him or her in your life, that means that your nerve stimulating hormone is still elevated, and it starts to wane after 1 year. Okay, so now we got that. We got that now, guys? Okay, so this feeling that we have that we call love basically is based on the brain center and the amount of the hormones. This may be why people say the people that are in love live longer. I think there's some truth to this. What do you think?